In this video, I'll compare meditation with psychedelics to help you decide which one is better for you. Most meditators meditate with a purpose of growth, but when it comes to psychedelics, many psychonauts do not take psychedelics with a purpose of improving themselves and growing spiritually. They take these substances to have fun and to see pretty colors. And that, while it can be enjoyable, it is not gonna bring the same benefits as meditation would. I am not saying that you should or shouldn't do anything, but taking psychedelics recreationally will likely cause more harm than good. But if you take psychedelics by yourself or with a trusted friend, or with a trusted group of people with an intention to grow, then that is a completely different story. But then, which method is more powerful, meditation or psychedelics? Well, meditation is safer, that is for sure. Meditation still has some dangers, it still can evoke some negative, deep emotions that you have been stuffing down. But with psychedelics, this is a lot more common and usually more intense. And when it comes to meditation, it is gentler and you can always stop meditating. Technically, you could end the psychedelic trip with benzodiazepines as well, but this is not recommended. Because one, it can cause some long-term problems if you do it too often, but also when these emotions come up and you stuff them down again, it is probably even worse than them not coming up at all. So that is one advantage of meditation. One advantage of psychedelics is that they will bring results faster, much faster in fact. With meditations, it takes a few months or even years to notice the first benefits, while with psychedelics, you can benefit from one session for your life. Like in psilocybin psychotherapy, one high-dose session, a single high-dose session, could decrease your symptoms of depression by like 30% long term. These effects will likely last for years. But that is not to say that meditation cannot be effective. If you attend a 10-day Vipassana retreat or something like a 7-day darkness retreat, it is gonna be massive. But for example, with the 7-day darkness retreat, I did that for 7 days and I don't think that it was any more beneficial for my mental health than taking psychedelics. But again, one advantage of the retreat in opposed to taking a psychedelic is that I could always leave if it got too intense. Which, however, also is a negative, because if you don't have strong enough willpower, or however you want to call it, then you might quit prematurely and not get much out of the experience. If you are after enlightenment, there are many people from the psychedelic community who attain liberation, but it wasn't because of psychedelics only. There is one example of a guy who attained enlightenment almost exclusively because of psychedelics. His name is Martin Ball, but he was mainly working with 5-MeO, the toad venom, which is not comparable to other psychedelics like LSD and magic mushrooms. Maybe there are other people who became enlightened because of psychedelics, but I am not aware of them. And in contrast, there are many people who became enlightened because of meditation. However, that doesn't make psychedelics bad for spiritual exploration or pursuing enlightenment, because the substances can give you a temporary state of being one with everything, or experiencing unconditional love or the truth. And this will motivate you to create a daily habit of meditation or book a month-long meditation retreat. And in addition to that, these substances will accelerate your meditation and allow you to go much deeper. And that has been the case for me. Since I've been taking psychedelics on somewhat regular basis, I feel like my meditation is getting much deeper and I can meditate even when I'm not sitting down necessarily. Psychedelics, by the way, can be used during the meditation, especially microdoses, and they will make the meditation more effective as well. So psychedelics are like a time saver, but that doesn't mean that they make the journey easier. Martin Ball says that his 5-MeO journey to enlightenment was not any easier than if he was to meditate on a cushion. It actually was harder in his opinion, but it was crammed all the hard effort was crammed into a much shorter time. But if you are somewhat new to this and you are struggling with building or keeping up a meditation habit, then psychedelics can help you because they will show you the importance of the practice. By the way, I hate when people from the spiritual community say that psychedelics are invalid because it's just external chemicals. It's such nonsense because your brain also produces chemicals, and meditation also changes your brain chemistry just like psychedelics. And from the big picture, everything is one, so who makes the distinction between some external chemical and your internal chemical? Do not listen to yogis when they talk about psychedelics. Yes, they might be more conscious than us, but they don't have experience with psychedelics in the first place. And the problem is that they had to work incredibly hard to retain their state of consciousness. So of course they will not like to admit that you can achieve the same state of consciousness by taking psychedelics a lot faster. In almost every spiritual school, they got this dogma that all external chemicals are bad. That is the case even in Buddhism and Hinduism. Of course, Buddha would never say that you shouldn't dare eat psychedelic mushrooms, nor would Jesus ever say anything like that. So even though many of these schools have beautiful teachings and we should all learn from them, some of their teachings are outdated. You can and don't have to take psychedelics, and you can and don't have to meditate. But I am saying that if you combine psychedelics and meditation, you will most likely see this accelerated growth because these things add synergistically. And together, if you combine them wisely, they can bring you to a very good place. It is not either or. Both of these can have a purpose in your life and both of these can help you, but also hurt you. Either way, I love you. Thank you so much for watching. Share this video if you enjoyed it.